Dwarfs. Previously, we spent a while under siege. As happens. Fort is otherwise pretty alright. And we got kind of a first wave of preliminary debugging of the Magma transport system out of the way. In exchange for one very, very, very burnt, kind of vaporized entirely Dorf. They were around here when the incident occurred. There are 2 whole points of magma up here, ready to go. See if we can get like much more magma brought up here with fewer casualties. I mean, if it comes right down to it, we have 220 dwarfs to go through. We could move a fair amount of magma with 200 dwarves. We also largely confirmed that the underground, like the main, just bookmark, yeah, back out here. Main underground is pretty secure. There have been no Trog attacks for some time. Salon continues to wander the halls of the earth peacefully. Friend to all. And was joined, well, not quite joined, but we also spotted another dread beast of the depths, Teague, who, for want of a single mushroom that grew somewhere down this hallway and kind of blocked it off, were it not for that, this amazing Technicolor war shrimp would be fighting it out with Slon for domination of the caves. As it stands, instead, they have their lines of territory and respect each other. The presence of our fortress imposes peace on the cave. Oh yeah, looking down here to the magma cart, or at least the place in which we will put the magma cart soon for a second test run. I've engaged in some physics wizardry in order to hopefully get it to behave right. We have these various allegedly unusable ramps, which will, due to witchcraft, cause a cart pushed across them to reach remarkable speed. Hopefully enough to then punch its way back out of the magma after a brief trip beneath the surface. See if that works. Push north immediately always, yep. And it has that warning there of saying this track doesn't make any damn sense, but that's okay. We know better. And I also, for the second attempt at this, we have our amazing ultra-lightweight adamantine minecart. And should it become necessary to perform yet further maintenance and restructuring, then I'll just enlarge the drainage area and pull more magma over into the drainage area. Now though, let time resume. Let meat be worked. Yeah, we took a bunch of prisoners in the siege as well. I was in the process of adding to the city little recreational execution pit. An arena. Magma will cool off if it reaches depth 1. In the same way that water will evaporate at depth 1. Oh yeah, we had a mood that was in progress when we left off last time. Fellow has claimed a shop. Rock and gems. Not a particularly ambitious mood. Mood nonetheless. Take a bard. Yeah, as also among relatively recent events, we naturalized a bunch of migrants. Many of our entertainers and mercenaries have become full-time citizens of the fort. Child frolics in the meadows playing around the battered, perforated bodies of defeated goblins. What do you think of all of this? Doesn't feel anything from witnessing death. Feels more strongly about sunlight than about murder. Good kid. Wow, a masonry order finished? Astounding. Let things be done. We also had a work in progress of restructuring this launching machine. Alright, it looks like someone has... Yes. Well, let me confirm. Let me look inside. Do you... No, someone placed the minecart at the second phase. Cart is not filled with the necessary payload. May have to move the technical location of the stop. I suppose what's happened here is the existence of the complaint caused the dwarves to just decide to override the push order and instead haul the cart? Maybe? Hard to say. Alright, there. That'll reset the route, and this time I will watch whatever the dwarves decide to do with that cart. Things elsewhere are reasonably peaceful. Whale skin, nice. Some pretty good stuff. Okay, so you've moved it. And there's the shove. And the arrival. And, well... yeah, it maybe successfully passed through. Or did it? Could it have phased through the wall? Or at least, what we witnessed happening afterwards was it hit the corner and ran past the stop and then drifted back down the hill. But no magma. Mysterious. Perhaps I employed too many ramps. Is that a thing that happens? Just falling through walls with a minecart? I'm aware of such a phenomena existing for combat, where like tackling and throwing could cause things to pass through walls. What of carts? Also aware that they can, like, skip off the surface of liquids, but that should be stopped by slamming into the wall. Artifact in progress. It's actually a pretty healthy pile of ingredients. We'll see what comes out of it. Someone has pushed the cart along for the second phase of its journey. Perhaps the magma is actually in there anyway? We'll see. Or have you already taken this cart? Where are you? Alright, let me give myself a hotkey to follow this thing. There we go. Locked on. Okay, here we go. Child, no! Child, what are you doing? Child seemed unharmed when we left it. And wow, that's a lot of momentum it picks up on the way back down. Okay, I've solved the mystery. Perhaps. Okay, it's now definitely full of magma. And it eventually sloshed its way back out? Okay, sure thing. I guess it works. Just, did it mangle that kid? You alright there? You're focused. You are not even injured at all. What are you thinking? It is drunk as hell. Playing make-believe. And did not catch fire. Alright, that trip did not cause any new magma to enter the system. Alright, children, for future reference, this is the Forbidden Zone. You are not to play here. Bard, you are also not to play here. Okay, so now that we've done this once, I think what I can do is just remove the pilot stop entirely. The wrong button was pressed. There we go. This should function. Maybe. It has sort of worked 1.5 times now. As far as Dorf engineering goes, that's a pretty good start. I expect we will see many dwarves standing around on these tracks, for they are adventurous fools. That I don't feel particularly strongly about taking the steps I would need to actually regulate where my civilians stand. There's steps I could take to properly restrict where they go that I think even the children would manage to respect. Legendary shell head. Give me a look at that. Here we've generated a lot of books. Lunch Pockets the Human. Yawao Champion takes the lush morning. Yeah, just more of the usual, you know, your standard classical man being torn apart by giant birds. It's a whole genre of art. Yeah, let me look at some of these books. Not awful, but not great. This strange diatribe about whoever the oily devil is. Something old. Some creature from year 6. Or the creature might be older. It was written in year 6. This is among the oldest books. Just a deadly serious chronicling of how this person joined a band? Okay. Masterful, but not particularly focused poetry. Elements of the Elf. Just a viciously detailed story of a specific incident of violence. 17 pages describing a single severed toe. This is the true nature of Elf. Ornate and vicious. Alright, hold on here. Just looking around. Alright, that is another name for a night troll. Dark Crone. So this is made of monster skin. This elf who was a merchant until they encountered the mystery of trees. It looks like a lot of these books belong to the people who migrated in. They just brought books with them. I think now that we have a library and writing materials, our residents might start writing stuff of their own accord. A quite cheerful book about flammables and combustion. Types of flammable material. Solid gold book about how to burn things. Flask, a brief history. What, made of Blue Jay Man? Not Blue Jay, but Birdman? Birdman! Someone skinned a Birdman and then wrote about beverages. Common Sense Mountain Home. Biography of a Fisher Dwarf. Also, yet some of these are on some pretty exotic materials. They happen out there. Now, what differences of opinion are there between on flasks, or of flasks, and Flasks: A Brief History. There's some deep schisms in the academic community about what defines a flask. Or actually, wait, this is written by Berth Lashes. And this is also written by Berth. Okay, so it's like a series about flasks. .330 pages of aimless rambling. I'm seeing a very clear trend in the difference between dwarf books and elf books here. Guide to the Fortress of Spiked Bridges. All the dwarf written books have been technical manuals and tour guides? A book about another book. Do we have a copy of the Dirtmorns there? First of the Dwarves. Oh, first the Dwarves, then the world. About quitting being a fisherman. So this dwarf got fed up working the shores and the rivers and the seas and wrote his manifesto. Book about locks. Like we've seen the Hamlet My Life earlier in previous observation of books. Wait, how can we make levers better? How do you improve on the simple machine? It's the basics. But what is the secret? Levers, but more so. Manual about locks. Book about Vermilion Pantomime. By a Mr. Coalfinder. Definitive Gid. Crafts trades. Okay, yes, full guide. Just the dynamic abbreviating and crushing that it does in other parts of the UI. No, crafts trades is a place. At one with the city. Strange elf. An 11-page essay written by this student about their apprenticeship. And here we have a poem. We're writing about crafts trades. Combinations. A somewhat showy and indecisive short story. Could it be the humans? From which we learn there is somewhere in this world someone named VQ Punch Munches. The great poet Punch Munches. The human poet Punch Munches. And another work by Mr. Punch Munches about himself. A lot of stuff out of crafts trades. Maybe they're nearby on the world map. A lot of writing about them and a lot of writing that came from them. Poetry manual. Seems to be a pretty common practice to kind of biographize yourself while you're learning. There have been plenty of cases of characters who've written autobiographies, or fragments of autobiographies. There's a lot of journals getting passed around. World of Dodgers. Somewhat self-indulgent. Here we have an advertisement for Mr. Candleshower's other book. Or perhaps some sort of self-review. Perhaps regrets. It's a sad book about writing some other book earlier. And now we've gotten into weaponry. Yeah, weaponry and named equipment. So yeah, that's all our books. Child, what have we said about the magma tube? And it's the same kid, too. Did I already organize for... Yeah, that's directly over the regular magma tube. Gonna have ourselves a nice garbage hole. Just an incinerator to toss things into. Alright, status of magma card. Sitting idle at bottom of track. Helpful Dorf en route to bring it to the top. Here we go again. It's counting up the altitude. We have confirmed this cart is full of magma. This one successfully loaded. And now it's in position. And now we're just waiting for someone to head in there and give it a nudge. Where do you think you're going? Cleaning up the toys children keep leaving laying around. Hopefully it's that they left... Yeah, there's the kid. Alright, let's see if the child is in fact coincidentally at safe distance from the tube. Moment of truth. Child is not on fire. And magma was successfully delivered. Alright, perhaps this is all safer than it appeared. And let's see, here it is. Yeah, back in position, and failed again. This might now be working as intended. We might be close enough. Functional magma delivery. Very time-consuming magma delivery. But functioning? We're up to 4 magma delivered for 1 casualty. It's a powerful ratio. A bit more off the pit here. The purpose of the magma is to improve our industries. Be able to replace all of these forges and all of these furnaces with magma-powered versions of themselves. Then we won't need to burn fuel for anything. Well, for anything but steel. In which case it's not really burned, it's being used. Gorlak remains friend of Spider. I think I want to make another attempt at giving our Spider some toys. Add another section to the zoo. Wait, no, not bridge. Cage, yeah. J for cage. Yeah, grab one of these troglodytes. Got plenty of those to go through. Yes, and I had an extensive list of giant novelty class weapons to make. When we do have the magma smelters active, they don't consume any of the heated material under them. They just work forever. The troglodytes that we have all originally came from the cavern layer. They're just pests down there. And yeah, I can just reuse the same lever when we get this all set up. Stall cage, rig cage, seal off, containment cell. It is presumably stored in either this cage pile here or the one outside up front. I still never got any plaster. I'll have to try to import that. Alright, card's in position again. It's important because after this cart gets unloaded, it'll be time to flip the first switch. Allowing the then 6 units of magma to spread out over those first 4 tiles. This bit, I am creating a hole to throw things into, at the bottom of which there will be a bunch of weapon traps loaded with various menacing bits of glass, in order to, properly process and mulch the creatures that are thrown into the pit. And then I'll need to install some manner of access. Side hatch, so I can send people in there to retrieve whatever falls off of them. Or otherwise clean up the bits. Another one of those mangled dogs. Long mangled beyond recognition. Still have no idea what happened to those dogs. But I have ideas. I have no way to confirm or deny the ideas. Alright, we have a third forgotten beast. Saragnomesh. Which possesses deadly dust. The godly silt. Deadly dust, and it's made of stone. Made of gems. Described merely as a towering quadruped. There it is, on top of that mushroom. Alright, this is out in a position where it could end up encountering and fighting Slawn. I do not like Slan's odds against the Gem Beast here. Yeah, although it would be fascinating if picks were notably useful against enemies made of minerals. That is not the case. In combat, pickaxes are treated like weird spears. They just do piercing damage with their points. Where piercing is one of the less useful damage types against rock. You poke holes in a rock, it doesn't have vital organs to penetrate, so it's just rocks. Unless it has organs that are also made of rocks. But yeah, against that, hammers. Powerful hammers to just crack and crunch and hopefully shatter it. Or potentially really good cutting weapons. You might be able to get a powerful enough swordsman to just slice a gem beast. Where you going, buddy? Pretty quick on his feet. Do you seek battle? Hey, what's this dwarf corpse doing here? Who are you? Well, let that young funga wood mark your grave. I want to keep an eye on this thing for a while. If it decides to fight Slan, I want to be there to see it. Or if we've managed to create 3 completely isolated cave segments in which these creatures can coexist. I also want to see that. Alright, from there, he can get to... not in here because I have this walled off. He might also be trapped. We may just have a 3rd permanent resident. Or a beautiful menagerie. So you still... improvements to your bedroom and your mausoleum still desired. Alright, have some more statues. Get some metal sculptures made. Wait, Sloan had a fight recently? Not recently enough to have any news. Every so often, the wandering beasts are slamming into wildlife and tearing it apart. See how much value goes into those rankings. Alright, between Mausoleum and Grand Mausoleum, Great Bedroom and Grand Bedroom, there's a 2,000 point difference in value. So the baselines are meager, quarters, dining room, and office, and grave. 100 value, they go up to modest. At 250, they go to regular. 500 to decent. 1,000 for fine. 1,500 for great. 2,500 for grand. 10,000 and up for royal. What news of Magma? It has delivered its payload and is rapidly returning to ground level. Good. We check the old receiving area. Oh my, it has slightly overflowed. Pull that first lever. Child, are you on fire? You are not. Yet. How old are you now? 10. It's a survivor. Kid may just have a future. Alright, so switch 1, opens door 1. We now have phase 1 magma reservoir. Where, yeah, there's just enough material in there that will undulate around and stay warm. The moment the next cart arrives, that will seal the deal for that. once it's close to full, we can start opening up the other ones as well and slowly propagate it out onto the industry. Had I been especially clever in preparing it, I could have built like a system of pressure plates that each door would open automatically once enough fluid had accumulated in the previous segment. That's a good idea. Why didn't I do that when I built this thing? Could have done that. Could have made it just work. The mysteries. Still don't have that cage. Alright, so for the time being, the Magma card is working. It has executed multiple cycles without either stalling or incinerating any children. What a milestone. And yes, there is a 1 depth tile in there, but because the fluid is sloshing around pretty aggressively, it's never sitting still long enough to cool. And it just needs to hold out long enough for the cart to make another pass, which is being prepared right now. And there we go. The future. So let's see, with that where it is, we could now convert this first forge over to Magma. need to punch a hole in the floor over the tube, and then we install the machine. In fact, I don't need to put any of these levers back the other direction, so I can just destroy them once they've been flipped. Actually, wait, you know what? Because the Magma card is so lightweight, probably, like, the least dangerous thing to have slammed into you. A were-sheep. It hungers for flesh. Is there anyone outside? The war nerd. Right, you know what? I'm gonna make a cursory pass at doing something here. Find my way into a menu I usually avoid, the burrow menu. This is a reasonably powerful tool that was created at some point. I actually dabbled in it earlier in the run. Used it in one of my attempts to quarantine a Dracula. So to reiterate what this mechanic is about, you can paint sections of the map and label them, and once they exist, you can then take dwarves and assign them to only be allowed to go into certain areas. And this is potentially very useful, because you can then use it to, like, regulate workflow and macro manage who works where for what reasons. And as I'm intending to use it shortly, the burrow system ties into the alarm system, the levels of readiness that you use for managing the military. Also set as part of your alert levels where civilians are allowed to be at various levels of alarm. If I just kind of do a very quick painting over of the interior in general. And kind of like a long ways down as well. Perhaps all the way down. For a first pass, let me just stop here shy of the Undercity proper. Right, that should span everywhere that I have dug. Except, like, the palace. Which I could also incorporate into this zone. Too far. There it is. Right, there we go. Now over in the military screen. When on active or training, like to restrict civilians to the lazy zone. See there, next to the alert levels, there's the tag for what civilians are set to right now. And there we go. So what I've just achieved by doing that is I should now have a good macro-scale panic button to just tell all the non-combatants to get inside right now. Then I just take the fighting squads and send them out after this sheep. Yep, so those two now have had whatever they were trying to do outside cancelled. And are heading on their way. And a few other folks were lingering outside the wall. Alright, here we go. Already taken a hit. You have to keep an eye out for any bites. Only Cruz is actually in hand-to-hand combat at the moment. Firmly has the upper hand right now. And now has backup. So this should go fine. Yeah, I internally kind of overemphasize the threat posed by werebeasts. Where, naturally, the fact that they're infectious makes them pretty dangerous. And against non-soldiers, they're quite capable of, you know, devastating civilians or not great soldiers. But they also usually travel alone. By and large, not terribly dangerous. Alright, there we go. Alert over. Back to normal. Back to Magma. The little greater and less than or equal to marks here. Yeah, that's mostly debris left behind from projectile attacks and other combat. The guard tower has been quite effective. And telling people to abruptly leave the caves and enter the sun. Oh, the Dracula's doing other things. Oh, hold on, there's the... Alright, tasks from the job manager are ending up at his personal anvil. That should not happen. He's getting distracted. Well, he cleared it up by then not needing to, well, not being able to complete any of his tasks. We gave him one log, right? Yes, he has one log. And that door is open. Alright, he might be having smoothed like a solid third of his living space. He's decided for a change of pace. Soon our Dracula's pocket economy can begin to form. He will forge his new blade, his new armor. The new pick that he'll be able to use to burrow out additional Dracula space. For when he gets short on material. He also has a very convenient exit by way of that pond there. Or he could just burrow through that and the pond would drain and then he'd be free, released onto the surface. Emerging majestically from the depths of the earth. Mercenaries always welcome. Meatwork is a place for soldiers. For those perhaps only joining recently, the Dracula is sealed away, because he is a Dracula. if allowed to roam among the general population, his hunger for blood will take control. This is another interesting menu that I've never bothered to dive into, but this exists. You can, like, set all sorts of configuration stuff on your individual shops, and you can put work orders into the individual shops. There we go. I've now isolated the Dracula's Forge from the general job list, so those will stop irritating him. I'll do that with the other... well, I'm about to stop using regular smelters. I've also not used work orders to run my regular smelters. I just have the individual furnaces receive their own long-form order chains. More magma seems to have been delivered, maybe. Yeah, we got 2 3s now. Cage has been delivered. Wait now. Don't want to use fancy mechanisms for this. Quartzite glaze down. Basic stuff. Snowstorm. Suppose it is the middle season. Right, the non-frozen parts of the river are places where I widened it. Various little bits that I've sheltered. Okay, he's gone back to smoothing. Perhaps in another 10, 20 years, he'll wander back over and turn that one log there into charcoal. Right, another magma card on its way. Yep. Team going on, bonding with their equipment. Making extensive use of the gym. Yeah, them all naming their iron gear, that's perfectly fine. The problem is when they get emotionally attached to, like, wood or bone or any other, like, improvised weapon you use as a stopgap until you have metalworking running. So many bars. Good to see that the cart works just as well when there's no child in the way. It seems like it's not bouncing around this time. Perhaps something about it is stabilized. Now that there's slightly less magma? Good stuff. If anything, we're waiting for somebody to get around to disassembling the forges. Surprised that that's hung up. Alright, the trainer has stopped by to talk to the spider. What a good spider. Making excellent progress socializing it. Spent a while because I'm contemplating the feasibility of getting a breeding pair. In doing this, I'm reading briefly about some of the tricks that people will perform as a result of having a giant spider in captivity. One of which is that, apparently, and pretty understandably, its fangs are just completely useless against a dwarf wearing a full suit of metal armor. You can actually achieve some remarkable training by taking someone who's fully suited up and just kind of letting them lay there webbed as the spider fruitlessly tries to gnaw a hole in their suit. Although this is a technique that has become less useful because as of more recent versions, giant spiders have become capable of using the wrestling mechanics and thus can kill without using their fangs. I'm going to put another layer of doors here. Make also not for pets. And we might see about letting our good friend Giant Spider actually wander around. Because her training has held quite effectively. Like, you'll get notifications if an animal starts to lapse back into feral behavior. We haven't seen any of those for our spider. She's very docile. Like, I have seen more warnings about training wearing off during attempts to domesticate far less aggressive animals like chinchilla. This spider is just positively serene. Yes, just make this animal training and pasture. I think we still have the cave gators in storage. I haven't used most of my captured animals of any sort. That's what the sport pit is for. Ease of processing. Once the connection is done, I'm going to skill off the trog area there. Or I could just slip a door in. The Gorlak will do anything if I let it wander out of there. Might not. They're relatively harmless creatures. Spider continues to want nothing to do with it. Perhaps Gorlak, not the enemy. Like, yeah, no one's even afraid of them. They're just around. These harmless Pac-Men. Yeah, no, he's just hanging out at the pub. Alright, yeah, in that case, let's, free all the Gorlaks. Anywhere that we have kept a Gorlak in captivity, just set it free. In fact, let's go ahead and track down where we have Gorlak in storage. I don't think we have many of them. 4 more Trog. Stay safe, Gorlak. Or get in a fight with a dog. We cannot interfere. This is nature taking its course. No dwarves are particularly impacted by this occurring. Everyone just carries on up and down the hall, continuing their working days. These things just happen. Dog is very tired, though. Mm-hmm. Pretty straightforward small animal being mauled by a dog. Not even the other dogs mind that this is happening. It's all Oblil here. And like that, the work is done. Alright, so let's see here. Lock that down. Set up the other layer of the quarantine here. Which is not yet complete. And then we'll go about wiggling the switch. Yeah, the cage side of the mechanism is already installed. Well, when we release all the other Gorlaks, we'll see if any of them make it past the dogs. It'll be a game. And we made our way up to some 5s in the magma pool. I could just as well open up the next compartment. Alright, very good. That's the last of the spider containment doors. And we'll see about getting the spider set loose. Also, about that stray designation there. Two female cave croc. If I had a proper pair, I'd consider trying to domesticate those. To anyone brave enough, the giant spider is up for adoption. And the cart continues to cycle properly. It would take extensive materials and construction and tedium to fully automate the Magma cart. Like, I would need to take those hundreds and hundreds of layers of track ramp and install rollers on them. And build enough power infrastructure to drive those rollers. The present system works fine. Dwarf power up, gravity down. Hasn't incinerated anyone in months. That's a system you can depend on. I could also rig up a system to absorb the extra speed. Or what you can do is, so at most other points on this track I've made sure that corners are up against walls. And why I've done that is, if you have just an open corner, just out on open ground, like if a cart were coming along this way and wanted to turn down, if there were just a corner here, if it goes into that corner and it's going too fast, the cart will derail and instead just keep traveling straight. So what you can do, though, then, is if just after that corner you have some more track that loops back around to the corner and tries again, what will happen is the cart will come in, and if it's too fast, it'll derail and go back around the loop and try again. And if it's still too fast, it'll derail again and go back around the loop. And each time around, friction will have bled off more of the speed. I created such an assemblage over hereabouts somewhere. I could use that to regulate this whole behavior where it throws itself way too far out and then has to fall back down. Doesn't seem particularly necessary at this point, though. It's loading, it's unloading. The magma flows. And I could now almost activate a second furnace. Alright, the froglet hut is free, but the spider seems uninterested. Going to proceed with the hypothesis that maybe the chain is dissuading it from playing. And we will take it away. Another thought on my part is that maybe it's ignoring the Trog because it can't path to the Trog? It might not think the way an archer does? What if I release the Trog? What will you do? Try to make a run for freedom. While the spider just completely ignores you. Spider, please. Alright, I have deployed the authorities. Also, if the Trog stumbles into the pub, well, that's where all the mercenaries hang out. And the poets. If it just starts chasing poets around, that could be inconvenient. Alright, it's gotten up to the dance floor. Now, surrounded by bards. And one Hammerdorf. Just here to hear a show. Would you mind terribly... You're part of the fenced... Yeah, right, that's my mercenary team. Could you just get that? It is mauling one of my elves. Stop that. Never interrupt a poetry slam at Meatwork. Also, another Gorlike is being led to their fate. Good luck, noble creature. Why did someone bring an entire cage down here? I thought I told people to release the creatures. Well, the spider's now off the chain. Here's her big chance. Anything that interests you? Wait, did you do a move? Have you finally engaged a toy? Maybe not. Or if so, only a little bit. We have another one, if you want to try for it. You okay there, spider? Spider, don't be shy. Come on. Use your moves. Something terribly wrong with our cave spider. Let's see, how deep was I gonna make this pit? No deeper than this. Let me just leave a little mark here. And then just think about where I would put in my access stairway. My backstage zone. There, that'll be important since we've taken the pit to the depth, but very shortly we're going to cut off the possibility of walking out of the pit onto this upper viewing stage. I do worry about you, giant spider. What will we do with you? At least we have Magma. There are people saying that the taming itself removes the spider's killing instincts. So if I want a silk farm, I have to keep it wild. Alright, this may need some reconfiguring. Well, for now it can just play among the Gorlax. Giant cave spider, friend to all children. And Dracula, burner of wood. Oh, that didn't work yet because he hasn't removed the construct there. He hasn't opened his side of the quarantine wall. Help our beloved Duke retrieve his inaugural log. Go another way. Time moves on, and the work continues. Works of meat. A's of flesh. Orbs. The Gem Beast also swims. The Gem Beast made its way out to where we keep the hospital water. Okay, this could go places. Where is Slawn? Slawn is at peace. On the beach. Alright, so we may have ourselves a bit of a complication waiting to unfold. It's under the water. It may yet head for the beach. Potentially next time, horrible, deadly, forgotten gem beast might make landfall. We'll see. Dorfs.